I've got a ton of gravel in my shoes, world on my shoulders, a heart full of blues. I'm in the dirt, down in the dirt.
Well, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to No Redemption Outdoors. And again, we're out in the shop, as you can see, and I'm standing next to the boat. I actually have two boats here, and one of the boats is going to be the subject of a series of videos. So let's give you a look. Your first reveal, and there she is. The Enforcer, made by Warehouse Hobbies. And I've had this thing basically since the beginning of time. I think it's been sitting on top of my bookshelf for the better part of 10 years. I took it down once about 5 years ago to start it up and make sure it was running, and it was at the time. But in, the 5 years since then, I'm sure it wouldn't start. So let me give you a look at it, and then we'll talk a little bit about the plan. This is going to be a short video, by the way. This is just meant to be an introduction to the series and to the boat. So it won't be a long video, but it'll give you a good taste of what we're starting with, and then, of course, you'll see the progression as we go forward. All right, so first things first, everybody always wants to see the motor. And so let's get you a look of the motor here real close. Now, as I have mentioned a couple times in my videos, this is basically a weed whip motor. And if I'm not mistaken, it's actually a home light motor, but it's rebadged for Enforcer. But I actually believe this is a home light, and there are a number of parts that are available to soup it up and to increase the horsepower. So, for example, this is the muffler. And so one of the improvements that we're going to make is we're going to swap that out probably for some kind of liquid jacketed tuned exhaust system that'll pour it out the back of it'll pour it out through the back here. So it'll come off and come back out the back through the hull. Or through the transom, I should say. It'll probably come through the transom. That's one thing that increases horsepower. Of course, we'll put a bigger carburetor on there, and there are carburetor options. I'm not familiar with all of them, but those choices will allow us to increase the horsepower. And who knows what other things there are. Pardon me. Splendid. Okay, carrying on. I don't know what I was saying. So we're going to go to the hobby shop, and we're going to discover all of the various options that there are for hopping up this motor. And then we got to look at electronics. So let me get you in here. This door here provides access to the servos, and I threw some batteries in here a little bit ago to test this. And basically this servo controls the rudder, okay? And so if I can manually operate it, you see here. Now in a second I will talk more about this servo, but that servo what will operate the rudder, and then this one here operates the throttle. Okay, so this is that is the controller, And this is a Magnum Junior. There you go. Magnum Junior. I'm kind of thinking we're going to be upgrading these electronics. But for the purpose of the video, I did put some batteries in so we can test it. So something's humming, and I'm guessing it's this servo. So we've obviously got electronics, but all right, so that's the throttle control, and so you can see what I'm doing there. That's operating the throttle, but the servo for the rudder, which is controlled by turning this dial here, seems to be not working, and I do hear a buzzing, which I tend to think is that servo. Yeah, so I'm just operating the rudder manual. I can feel that the gears are messed up, and the servo itself doesn't seem to be functional, so we're obviously going to have to take a hard look at that. But my guess is the end result will be upgraded electronics, because here's the thing. If we increase the horsepower and we increase the speed of the boat, we need to increase the reliability of the electronics. The last thing you can have is a failure while that boat is skipping across the water and you lose control of it. So we'll have to dig deep into the electronics and make sure that we're well situated for what we're going to be doing. So another thing we're going to look at is this apparatus here. Now again, there are options such as a double rudder arrangement, and given, again, we'll make inquiry at the hobby shop, but my expectation is that we will benefit from upgrading this to the double rudder, because I think with the increased speed we're going to need increased control. Also, we'll look at the options on the prop. I don't know anything about the gearing that's going on in here, and you can see that this prop cable goes through and then comes into here. And again, we'll get into that when we start the build. But I don't know if there are various gearing options. I have no idea. I don't know if that's a thing with this boat. But there may be options on the prop. And again, as we increase horsepower, increase RPM, we're going to look at our prop options. Now, again, I apologize. I can't tell you the particulars, but I guarantee you by the end of this build, I'll be able to tell you the ins and outs of everything on this boat. I imagine we're going to pull the motor out. We're going to break it down. We're going to put a variety of upgraded parts on it. Carburetor, as I mentioned, the exhaust, tuned exhaust, etc. We'll put it all back together, and I imagine by the time that's all done, I'll be a regular RC boat mechanic, maybe even an engineer, who knows, right? Then when everything is said and done, and we've got it running the way we like and performing and everything's done, then we're going to take all of this. These are just stick-on graphics. We're going to take all this pinstriping off. I've got a little bit of fiberglass work to do here on the bow. Hopefully you can see that. So we ran her into the side of the boat one time when we were out on the lake and lost control of her and ran it right into the boat and chipped the bow. So I got to get that fixed, but then I'm going to get some graphics, custom graphics made. And I can tell you that I am strongly leaning towards the No Redemption logo to be placed up here on the deck of the boat. I kind of think that would be cool. And then along the side, I'll let some utilize his artistic license. But I think something in the color scheme of the logo, and I'll just walk over here and show you the logo real quick. I have another variant of this logo. Sorry for the shadow. Let me see if I can move in a way that I can't prevent the shadow. I apologize. But there's the logo, and I have another variant where the word no is on the left side. So both of those variants would be candidates here. And then I think the rest of the boat could be, you know, color scheme to match with that sort of neon green and black, and who knows, you know. Another, I want to look into cryptic camo options as well. I've seen the cryptic camo in a variety of colors, and maybe there's a black and neon variety of the cryptic camo, and I think that would be really cool too. So I'm envisioning options. And I would really appreciate any ideas you may be able to offer. Put them in the comments down below. The last thing I should probably point out, and it's worth noting, it's that the boat's sitting on a stand. It's a wooden stand with rope handles and foam bunks, and it does the job. And I have no particular motivation to change the stand. However, maybe we'll do something painted or something to match the boat once it's all finished, so that it's just not that bare wood looking thing. But I tell you, that stand is very, very useful, and it serves its purpose. So, all right, guys, well, that's it. I guess that's about all there is to say at this point. The next episode in this build series will be with us at the hobby shop, and we'll meet the owner or one of maybe the manager, and they will tell us about their store. But then we'll dig down into the particulars here. We'll do a full diagnosis, a full assessment. Then we'll run through the options available for parts and upgrades and prices and so forth. And we'll select the ones we're going to do. Hopefully we can buy them all at once, but maybe not. And if not, we'll buy them in priority based on the progression of the build. But that's the game plan, and that's, you know, the next video will be the first, you know, in that series, and then we'll just go step by step through the whole thing, and I look forward to doing it, and I really hope you guys will join me. That's it. That's it for today. I appreciate you stopping by one more time to No Redemption Outdoors. Drop us a comment down below. Give us a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know what to do. I hit you with this every time, so I'll spare you. But that's it. That's it for today, and until we meet again, folks, take care. Jag är så